My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I've done several videos, quite a few over the past month, couple of months, involving my kidnapping, but also about mind control, which I had written about in 77, 78. I'm going to continue with this morning for the reason that, well, it's just the reason that it should be told. People say they have the right to know, and then when they're told or confronted with the truth that they don't want to hear, then suddenly their ears are closed, just as they don't like to think about mind control. And this existed for a long, long time, maybe before the 30s, but since the Tesla files were stolen. It's been in use with handsets and then satellites. And of course, all this would be linked to if you tried to tell someone you were programmed or mind control was being used, you'd be locked up and given psychotic drugs, misdiagnosed, and most of these have been deliberate. The psychiatrists, doctors, if they can't tell the difference in mind control and don't even let that enter into their thinking, or conspiracies are ruled out, that is such a joke in itself, but they've gotten away with it. They're blaming everything on the mental health system or saying they're mentally ill. You don't have to commit mass murders. The Virginia Tech young man from South Korea on August the 16th of '07 shot 33 people nearby at Virginia Tech. I'm in Roanoke since '86. And the young man was programmed. He's a victim himself, and he ended up shooting himself, much as a lot of them that in the shootings. James Holmes didn't shoot himself, but he's living a hell of a life. You have to stop the programming and don't misdiagnose them and further torture them by labeling them something they're not. And it also ruins the people suffering from mental illness. It scares people to be around them. I'm appalled. I wonder if the truth's ever going to be told because there's been such a massive cover-up. And by the way, I want to put this in real quick. The Fort Hood shooter was a psychiatrist himself. If he doesn't know that he's been programmed, and how would he if it wasn't done in patterns? Most murders committed that way, you would never know. But psychiatrists would certainly know the difference in mind control and mental illness. So this was psychiatrist that finished school at Virginia Tech. And then he went on, I believe, to Harvard, I'm not sure, and became a psychiatrist. But he's the Fort Hood shooter, and did I say this? He was born in Roanoke, Vinton here. So I could go on and on, but these are people who have been programmed, and they're just as much a victim as the other persons that was killed, whether it's mass or one or two. And this is where I'm going to say this and make this a short video if I can. I started getting into giving information and backup and trying to get somebody to listen, and there's plenty of information now. In 77, 78, when I started telling it and writing about it, there wasn't that I was aware of. Now then, you can YouTube, you can, there's some pretty good information on the YouTubes, really. And then you just YouTube mind control or Google it, and you get a lot of information. I will say this, the Southwest Airline that just, well, he landed at the wrong airport, 7 miles from Branson, I believe is where he was supposed to have landed. And the media keeps asking, and believe me, the media knows. I mean, I have told them, beat their doors down locally. They have CBS, NBC, ABC. Since I came here, I've told it. And the ones I tell about have been deliberately done by an agency so that they fit into a pattern, and they can be proven. But now, I mean, over all these years, is that going to happen, or the cover-up just keep on? Um, okay, the pilot can be placed under mind control. He doesn't know it. Or the air controller at the airport can be programmed. And I put this in another video, I believe yesterday, that they have made it so that everything has to have more security, and of course it's for your own good. Did people stop and think that the same people that are saying you need more security and all this are the ones that are creating this crime in the scenario? And mind control is the best weapon you could get. To heck with, I don't mean to heck with, I like Edward Snowden, and I think the people that call him a criminal are criminals themselves. They are. And bless them for doing it. But, you know, when you get into mind control, you can program what's put in you and what comes out. What was it Dr. Phil said yesterday? There was a young girl on there, and a very sad situation, but he said that from birth that's one thing we can't control is what we put in and put out. He meant food. But mind control, what you think and what you do can be put in and what comes out of you. You don't, when someone's programmed, they're not aware they're going to shoot somebody or take a knife or they're going to commit suicide, what looks like suicide. They're going to drive their car into the ocean, or like Susan Smith, she's going to drive her kids or put her kids into the pond and drown them. And by the way, there's more of those, but people don't seem to care unless it happens to them. Now I've gone off on giving too much information. The answer to the people that ask about that is it's mind control. So that's what can make you land at another airport or go into the ocean or the mountain or whatever. Like, and I go back to Larry McDonald was a congressman, U.S. congressman doctor that I wrote about in Atlanta, and also the KAL jet veered off into Soviet space en route from Juneau, Alaska to Seoul, South Korea, August the 31st of 83, and all passengers aboard, 249 or so, died. So you can make the pilot veer off space into somebody else's airspace. And there was a book written about the KAL and the pilot being a seasoned pilot. So anyway, I'm going to go on to the shootings, and everybody has followed the shootings. First it was the serial murders and John Hinckley, et cetera, and then it became Aurora, Colorado, Tucson, the Virginia Tech, the Wayne Williams in Atlanta, etc. So I'm not going to get into that much. It was done in patterns, these were, and I can't in any shape or form get into all the patterns. It's not just one or two things. The shootings at the middle school at Roswell, New Mexico, was it yesterday or the day before? Today's the 15th of January. The victim, one of the main clues in this, if you want to say clues, is that one of the victims was taken to a Lubbock hospital. And you get into these, they're doing one right after another where somebody picks up a gun and goes and shoots. And it's not just confined to the schools, but that terrorizes people, and then people don't want to hear it. So I don't know what else to say about that. But the thing is here, too, also, there's a lot of clues and to a seemingly puzzle. There was a member of the parliament in Canada that was telling, I saw a video on YouTube, viewed it, he was telling about Linda Moulton Howe, Moulton, in case someday this is told. Very